Hello and welcome back to the channel. Welcome if you're new. My name is Liz. If you are new here, you joined at a very fun time because you joined in during one of our weekly readings. Every single week we get together and we look ahead at the next 7 days to see what is in store for you, what you might be able to expect, and we get a lot of detail. So if you've already been watching these, you know we get charms, we get tea leaf cards, we get tarot cards for every day, as well as oracle cards too. And our special guest oracles today are the Mushroom Spirit Oracle. This is the one you see here, as well as Secrets of the Mystic Grove. So very fun decks today, and let me show you what we have. Really quick though, if you haven't, consider subscribing. First of all, it really does help my channel. When you subscribe, it makes a huge difference, but also that way you'll get notified if you click the notification bell after subscribing when I upload these weekly videos and you won't miss one. So yeah, definitely subscribe, and thank you so much for subscribing and liking the video and commenting. All of that engagement really does help, so I do appreciate it. So let's take a look at our choices today. We have 3 mushrooms to choose from, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing all of them correctly, but I definitely did my best. So the first one, number 16 for group 1, Amanita mushroom. Expanded awareness is the first mushroom, so it's the first choice. Just choose the mushroom you feel drawn to today, whichever's pulling your attention. For group 2, we have number 27, Blue Laratiomyces. Again, not sure, but I think that's right. Discovery and Unknown. And number 35, Violet Coral Mushroom Community for group 3. So whichever mushroom or number 1, 2, 3 you feel drawn to, please ignore my mosquito bites. I'm house sitting and I'm like, there's lots of trees and I'm kind of out more in the wilderness, I would say, here where I am. So yeah, mosquitoes have been enjoying me. And this, I think, has been happening mostly while I've been sleeping, this one, because I keep waking up and for some reason the back of my hand is where they enjoy, I guess. But anyways, yeah. Let's take a deep breath together, and then that might also help you decide. Take more time. Feel free to pause too. Pause the video if you need more time. Absolutely no rush. Feel free to make a cup of tea or coffee, get cozy, get a snack. I really look forward to these readings every week. And just a little reminder, please have fun with my readings. These readings should not stress you out. We're just looking at different things that might come up, different themes of the week, different obstacles we might encounter and how to kind of go about dealing with them. So these readings should be fun. Remember, my readings are meant for entertainment purposes. Have fun with my readings. I do hope that it resonates, and I think it's super cool. The messages that I get, the comments I get about like how things end up happening and unfolding, it's super cool and pretty amazing. And that's the thing too, is like charms, certain charms may have significance to you, right? So here's one that I often use as an example. So the nail polish charm. This can mean like finishing touches on something, final details. It can also talk about getting your nails done, right? So if this lands on a certain day, you may have a manicure scheduled that day, or someone may invite you to get your nails done or something. You may buy a new nail polish, right? So have fun, read along with me, because I could truly do these readings for hours and hours and hours. Like I get so many different messages, but I try to just kind of focus on the main messages. So feel free to read along with me, comment below. I love that. So yeah, let's jump into it. Let me know which group you choose. If it resonates, I'd love to hear. And I thrifted that box yesterday, by the way. I'm going to do a little makeover on that, so I'll keep you posted with that. But yeah, so let's dive in. I'll put the timestamps below. We'll start with group number 1. Group 1, if you chose the Amanita mushroom, expanded awareness, then this is your messages for the week ahead. We're going to see what is in store for you this week. We've got a few different oracle decks today. We're working with the Secrets of the Mystic Grove, as well as the Mushroom Spirit Oracle. And we've got tea leaf cards, tarot, charms, lots of info. So if this is your first time watching one of my weekly readings, welcome. I'm excited to jump in and see what is in store for you this week. So let's dive right in. I'm still not home. I'm still house sitting, but today's the last day. So I'm packing and cleaning, and I thought, you know what, do the week ahead reading now. Cause yeah, I can't wait to go home. Okay, so horseshoe, so good luck you've got this week, excellent. And the purse, so pay attention to your finances. So you're keeping a close eye on your finances this week. maybe expanded awareness is like you're more aware of your spending, possibly, like certain things. Okay, you've got observation, so patience, attention, pause, and watchful. Okay, so let's put your cards there. All right, so let's get you your tarot. Just a little reminder, every single week I always say this, but if you get a challenging card, whether it's a oracle card or a tarot card, please do not let that dictate how your day is going to go. We're just having some fun. We're looking at different energies throughout the week. I do look at the cards as a whole as well, especially as I continue to do this every single week. I really like to look at all 7 cards together and kind of see overall what we're getting this week, but let's see. Group 1, let's start with Monday. 8 of Swords, 8 of Wands, the Lovers, Knight of Cups. Friday, 7 of Pentacles. Saturday, 9 of Wands and 10 of Cups. You got 2 that day. And then Sunday, the Sun. All right, so we'll get some charms. Maybe a couple more. There we go. All right, so group 1. Let me just take a quick scan of the cards to see what I'm noticing. We've got some major arcana cards. We've got Swords, Wands, Cups, and Pentacles. So a little bit of everything this week. Got 2 cards on Saturday. Okay, so let me just take a quick moment to absorb this and see what's coming through. So here's the thing. I'm seeing early on in the week as a little bit chaotic, okay? Because you've got the circus tent, you've got the 8 of Wands. That doesn't have to be a bad thing. Here, I want to just show you this. Okay, you've got observation. So patience, attention, pause, and watchful. I think you're sort of waiting for something to settle down. Like I'm looking at this little bottle of pop. You know when you shake a bottle of pop, you know you have to just kind of let it sit before you open it, right? I don't know why that's popping in, but it did. Because it's like there's something that's been like, I don't know, maybe shaken up is the right word, but something is like chaotic or stressful or something like that. So you're choosing this week, or you're being encouraged to just take a moment. Observation, watch and wait is really coming in, actually. Watch and wait. Seeing these little birds, it's making me think of the expression, a little birdie told me, so there could also be some information, because I'm noticing the bunny's ears, so there could be like information that's available to you this week that is helpful. Attention, pause, something's got your attention, pausing. Yeah, watching and waiting is coming through. And even with expanded awareness, it's like your perspective of something may shift this week, or something may, like expand your view of something or your perspective. Because right now with the 8 of Swords being there, it's like right now there's sort of a, I'm getting with the bird there, like bird's eye view of something. Sorry, I'm just piecing this together here, and then we'll fully dive in. Expanded awareness, observation. Well, one thing I want to say with pay attention to your finances and the observation is something very random popped in, okay? So this is just an example, but sometimes strange examples will pop in. So this isn't new, by the way. This goes all the way back to forever, I think, but especially, I was born in the 80s, so I'll use Cabbage Patch Dolls as an example. When Cabbage Patch Dolls came out, they were like people were fighting. You could not keep them on the shelves. There's footage on YouTube of people fighting over Cabbage Patch Dolls. And that still happens, right? You might have seen what happened when the Stanley Cups were trending and popular, right? So I know that's kind of maybe a silly example, but there's something about not getting caught up in the chaos of something and just watching and waiting. Because inevitably, the commotion of something is going to eventually calm down, and you're going to be able to make a clear choice. And the reason why I think I thought of that too is the pay attention to your finances. So there could be something this week, and these are very, some of these readings are just very simple, right? We're looking at a week ahead, so it doesn't have to be anything too life-changing. It doesn't have to be anything too significant. We're looking at like real life examples here, right? So tying this all together, there could be something this week that like you really want to purchase. It's like, oh my goodness, I really, really want this. I just saw this in a bunch of people's videos, and oh my goodness, it looks like so much fun. And my friend just bought one and all of that. Just watch and wait, okay? For many reasons. Maybe because you haven't gotten paid yet. You're trying to watch your finances and budget. Maybe you might change your mind. Maybe this item or this thing that you're wanting to buy isn't really all it's kind of made up to be, right? There could be several reasons why this might be coming through, but I'm getting to like think twice this week about like anything you feel like overly impulsive about. Just wait, okay? Because your perspective may shift, or you may gain more insight or information with expanded awareness that like makes you think of something a little bit differently, okay? Now, that's just sort of connecting the cards. The cards don't necessarily have to connect. It could just be saying this week, look, like this is a good week to budget. This is a good week to pay attention to spending. There could be a situation this week where you have let's just say Thursday, for example, you've got Knight of Cups. There's something you really want in that moment, and you're like, emotional spending could be a risk that day on Thursday, right? So again, like these readings, I really encourage you to kind of look at it in everyday sort of situations. Not every week is going to have these huge life-changing moments, right? Some weeks do, but this week feels like, I just feel like you're just paying attention this week. You're watching, you're waiting, you're not trying to be too impulsive. You're taking your time, you're paying attention, and you're not getting caught up in some sort of dramatic or chaotic situation. So let's get back to Monday. I just kind of wanted to tie it all together there with what I was getting. You've also got good luck this week, so that's always nice to see. Something lucky could happen this week. Again, all of your cards overall look pretty fantastic. Monday, you're feeling a little bit stuck, so that's a good place to start, of course, is Monday. So yeah, I mean, we see with the slot machine and the circus tent, like this to me is, even with patience, watching, waiting, observing, like, and pay attention to your finances, I don't think that this is a week to take financial risks, okay, with the slot machine. Now, of course, I don't give financial advice, so do whatever you want, but based on what I'm seeing, I would be more thoughtful about any financial moves you're making this week. Double check, pay attention. If you've got anything you have to read this week, like a contract or sign, I should say, just double check. Make sure you're thorough. Make sure you've read through everything and you understand everything. Watch for things that may kind of jump out to you and have like a bit of a red flag, or hey, I don't know about that. Like, ask questions, be patient. I wouldn't make any impulsive financial decisions this week. Okay, that's really what I'm getting. But again, completely up to you. I'm seeing with Libra, like balance might be important to you this week. The pencil, this could be like you taking notes or creating a budget, or like I'm noticing the eraser, maybe making some like corrections to something. But overall, 8 of Swords being your energy that day. This day, you're like not seeing something maybe for what it is, okay? This can be when we have like limited thinking, or our ideas, our beliefs about something are kind of keeping us stuck. So maybe, again, not a good day to do anything too impulsive until you have all of the information, or you're feeling more maybe empowered with the information that you have. Because again, this is like feeling limited or stuck. And sometimes when we feel this way, we might make an impulsive decision because we feel like we don't have any other options, right? Well, or we feel pressured, right, into making a purchase. Let's just stick with that example. So yeah, that's really what I'm feeling this day. There may be some sort of argument or conflict happening around you. Monday, okay, I would say stay out of it. I wouldn't, like, to me, this is like kind of a stand back kind of, like, I wouldn't get caught up in it, in the drama. Okay, so if there's drama going on, basically, I wouldn't get too caught up in it if you can avoid it, okay? Yeah, things seem a little chaotic, and I'm getting something about like drama. The reason I'm saying that is that we've got the circus tent too, so I'm getting that expression, not my circus, not my monkey. So yeah, there's some sort of like situation that's chaotic, okay, Five of Wands energy, where it's like you don't need to get overly involved in it, okay? So, of course, take things how they fit, how they resonate for you. Tuesday, you've got the Eight of Wands, so more unsettled energy, I would say. Okay, this is an energy of movement. It's an energy of rapid changes, unpredictability, things kind of being in the midst of a change, all right? Things moving fast, happening fast, unexpectedly. This can be exciting, but today I'm feeling it more so as like just unsettled, sort of hectic. There's a feeling of like patience, waiting for a situation to kind of calm down before making a decision, okay? So that's what I would suggest. You've got the Hand, so someone could be reaching out that day. There could be an offer made to you. There may be like lots of areas of life this week that are requiring you to reach into this purse, okay? So pay attention to your finances. Like this could be, for example, someone saying, hey, like I loaned you money 2 weeks ago. Can I have it back? Or that's kind of what I'm feeling. Like there's lots of areas of life where it's like, okay, this is due. Like let's pay this now. We pay attention to your finances. That's what's coming through with the Hand. But the Hand, of course, can be reaching out for assistance. It can be an offer being made. It can be a handshake. It can talk about a deal being made. Okay, so some sort of deal might be being made or something like that. An agreement of some kind, possibly a handshake. I like too with this image, like they're holding hands. So could be like, again, a feeling of union, partnership. Business deals could be made Wednesday as well. Okay, so some sort of business deal. You've got Taurus energies. Okay, so there could be an important Taurus in your life coming to the forefront Wednesday. But you got the Lovers card. So my feeling was, because again, I look at the card sort of as a whole as well as individually, but I was feeling like things are kind of feeling hectic. You don't really know what to do. Monday, Tuesday, a lot going on, a lot of chaos, a lot of busyness. So I, again, wouldn't make any major decisions until you feel more clear, especially financial decisions, okay? Because the Lovers card can talk about big decisions. It can also, of course, talk about partnerships, union, coming together. Someone may reach out. That's kind of what I feel like with the hand holding there and seeing that hand. Someone may want to, you know, partner up with you with something. This could just be a feeling of closeness with your current partner romantically. But whatever the case may be, there is a feeling of like closeness that day and possible financial decisions. So pay attention to your finances. This too is a day maybe, and Thursday actually, where you are taking a close look at finances. You could be budgeting that day, taking a look at spending. Pay attention and observe is like just being aware, I think, like, because so many times, and I've done this so many times where I'm like, really you kind of lose sight of, okay, what am I spending on takeout? What am I spending on? Like during 2020, I spent so much on certain things. I look back, like food delivery apps, I was buying a lot of nostalgic things. And at the moment, like $15 here, $20 here, $5 here, right? But when you kind of looked at it all together and saw the big picture with expanded awareness, it was telling a different story, right? So there's definitely like something about like truly looking at something, really looking at all of the information. So I think a lot of you are doing that with finances. And it's not, here's the thing, it's not fun to do that, right? But there is something about confronting this, okay? So paying attention in order to improve it, or in order to maybe get the help that you need with something, or in order to stop a pattern or something like that. So again, not the most comfortable to do sometimes, right? But it is telling us that this is a good week to do that, okay? On to Thursday, you've got Knight of Cups. Lots of loving energy Wednesday, Thursday. You might find a relationship is sort of being strengthened. Your bond with someone is being strengthened or improved, possibly. Could be with a Taurus, doesn't have to be. You've got a 3, Thursday at 3 could be important. Like I was saying, like connected to the finances message, for example, this would be maybe like just paying attention to the signs. Like we have the shark here. You know, this Knight of Cups is leading with their feelings, with their emotions of something. They're letting their emotions in that moment lead the way. So it could be like, take a closer look. This could be a day to really observe because we have the observation card and the magnifying glass. This could be a day where it's especially important to look closer at something. I'm just really noticing the shark and the magnifying glass in this situation. But it could just mean too that day that you're feeling especially emotional, you're wearing your heart on your sleeve. Wednesday, Thursday, you're feeling very close in a relationship. You feel like you want to be closer with someone. Your partnerships are sort of at the forefront, friendships, romantic relationships, that kind of thing. But yeah, again, Thursday at 3 could be important. Let's see what else we have. Feeling creatively inspired, possibly Thursday as well. You've got a tantalizing prospect will come your way. Okay, so here's the thing. Friday, I should say. You've got 7 of Pentacles, a tantalizing prospect will come your way. So this doesn't mean you're passing up on this potential whatever this is, right? It doesn't mean you're saying no. You're just double checking. You're observing, you're watching, you're waiting, you're being cautious. This is a card of assessment. This is a card of analysis. So this is actually really good to see with the magnifying glass being there and a tantalizing prospect will come your way. It doesn't mean it's not good, but I am getting something about double checking contracts, agreements being made, just taking a look, okay? Making sure that it's what you really want, right? Because maybe there's some adjustments that need to be made or, some questions that you need clarifying. Doesn't mean it's bad. It just means you've got time to work with here. You've got time on your side. You can observe. There was also something this week about letting the, what's the word I'm looking for? But letting the, I don't want to say popularity, but the initial frenzy of something calm down before, because it's like you're not getting pressured this week, you're not getting tempted, you're not getting pushed into anything. Like, you're making the decisions this week. You've got a full picture, you've got a full awareness, all of the information you need because you're making strategic, careful choices this week. So you might see people this week making very impulsive decisions with something, like a family member or a friend. This could be also a day where you're also paying attention to your finances. Because this is a card of assessment, maybe you're like, okay, this is working, this isn't working, right? This is what I'm noticing, this is what I want to change, this is what I want to do going forward. So kind of a really reflective day on Friday. On to Saturday, you've got beautiful energy. You also have the 9 of Wands. You've got 10 of Cups there, so lots of loving energy this week. I must say, like, very beautiful energy when it comes to your relationships, being that we have the Lovers card, 9 of Cups. Some of you, I think, are falling in love, if I'm honest. I think there's some people falling in love this week. Or if it's not that, maybe just getting closer, maybe having a better understanding of the person that you're with too. But you also have the 9 of Wands with it, so it's an interesting combination because you've got this beautiful, fulfilling, content, it's just harmonious and beautiful, loving, happy energy with family and friends. And you also have the 9 of Wands. So this can be the recovery card. It can be the wounded warrior card. It can be a card of having your guard up or feeling like on the defense a little bit. It's kind of coming through to me as like a feeling of relief, like a sigh of relief, because this is so comfortable. And this is like someone who's just kind of, I guess, something is subsiding, I think, on Saturday. Like, something is subsiding, or you're starting to kind of like, okay, whoa. So you're not necessarily guarded, but you're like a little bit, like it's almost coming through as relief, but yeah, I'm getting something is subsiding Saturday that might have had you a little bit on guard. Some of you have like a family event or something to attend Saturday. You're sort of nervous about it. I'm getting that it's going to go better than you think it is, okay? But let me know what you get from that combination. That's kind of my feeling. It could be saying too, like, that any stresses early on in the week are like, you're starting to kind of feel calm about Saturday. Interesting. Let me know what you think though. You've got success, money, and happiness. This could too just represent like you're really choosing what makes you happy, okay? And I'm getting something about like not comparing yourself to other people. Like when I was thinking about the examples of like keeping up with the trends and all that, you're not so much thinking about like what is viewed as successful or what is like comparisons right now. I think you're not really paying attention to that. You're not trying to keep up with anyone. You're just trying to focus on what makes you feel really truly fulfilled and what makes you feel truly happy, rather than like, okay, what am I trying to project, right? What am I trying to like show other people that I have? It's not so much important to you. And this is beautiful because look at Sunday, you've got the Sun card. So this too is a feeling of harmony, and I'm seeing a lot of great time with people that you love this week, all right? And also a feeling of confidence this week. You truly are finishing off the week feeling just honestly happy. Like this is one of the happiest cards in the deck. You've got travel, okay? So some of you could be traveling, maybe somewhere sunny and cozy and warm. You've got the compass, okay? So this is direction. Let's see what else you've got. This is like foundation strengthened. I think some sort of relationship's definitely getting strengthened this week. I just got the word bolster. I don't know really even what that means 1000%. Sometimes words will pop in and I don't really even know them. Bolster, it's making me think of a bolster of a chair. Bolstered I think means propped or supported, but yeah, you've got the compass here. This can be about direction, listening to what's important to you with the sign, like really listening to what's important to you, not keeping up with people. And the shovel is like some sort of breakthrough happening this weekend, possibly something getting uncovered, or I don't know, I just imagined buried treasure, so something like that. And you, of course, had good luck this week, too. So luck is on your side this week, all right? So you've got some lucky things happening. The only kind of cautionary message I'm even getting is, like, not doing anything too impulsive this week. You're better off to just sort of watch and wait, strategize. Don't get caught up in a very distracting and chaotic situation. You're better to kind of just trust your gut, hold off, and just make the decision without the pressures or the time, like the feeling of like, I've been getting this a lot lately about like limited time offer and all of these like words that people will use in marketing to make us feel like there's like limited, and that's like part of marketing, right? That's what people do. It's a kind of a hallmark of selling things, right? It's like limited time offer, right? There's the feeling of scarcity that people will use to sell things. So I'm getting to like not be too swayed by that, right? There's going to be more, all right? So don't put yourself into debt or more debt or into a stressful financial decision or situation just because you were pressured into it, right? So let me know if any of this made sense for you. A lot of these things might have personal meaning. The charms sometimes mean different things, right? So I'd love to know what you thought of this, and we will see you next week. Two, if you chose the blue Laertiomyces is my best guess at how to pronounce this with Discovery and Unknown, then this is your week ahead predictions. We're going to see what is in store for you this week. We'll get you tarot, we'll get you charms, and of course we've got oracle cards. We're pulling from the Secrets of the Mystic Grove, as well as the Mushroom Spirit Oracle today, which is the card you chose. You've got distance, so separation, divide, and discord. Okay, so definitely a feeling of taking some distance, taking some space from a situation or from a person this week. Let's see more about what could be happening. Group 2. You will receive a precious gift, or you'll receive a gift. Okay, what the heck? Okay, that was very strange. I was thinking of this card. Sorry, I was thinking of what this card said when I saw that, and then I corrected myself. And then when I looked at the card I took out, it was this one. You'll be receiving a precious gift. I get these two cards confused for one another a lot. That is so bizarre. It just happened. Okay, so yes, as I was saying this card, I was reading this card in my mind. Then as soon as I realized this wasn't this card, I realized that we had the card that I was, oh my goodness. Okay. Okay, group 2. So you're getting a gift this week. Now, this could be, I feel like this is meaningful to somebody, okay? Because this card popped into my head when I saw this, so it's precious. Now, this might not necessarily mean it has like, you know, it's precious or valuable in the sense of like how much it costs, okay? We do see a diamond here, so it could. But it feels more like sentimental, or just someone is giving you something because they care, okay? So someone could be like, this could be like an heirloom, something like that. Something precious though, something valuable to you, just because I was so fixated on the precious gift, even when we didn't have that card until we actually got that card. That was super strange. Okay, so yeah, so some sort of gift is coming in. It's super cool to get these two cards. So it could be like a little piece of jewelry from somebody. It could be, you know, I'm just seeing them presenting it to you and like it's meaningful. Like there's thought behind it. You know, they might have a story attached to it. I'm getting the emphasis to tell you it doesn't necessarily mean it cost a lot. It's just the sentiment is meaning too. Sorry, I had an interruption. We're going to get into your tarot, but I think I was just talking about how it doesn't necessarily mean that it's like expensive. It just, it's something, it kind of feels like I don't know if I said this already. I might have. It's been a few minutes now, but like an heirloom or just something like passed down, or there's like someone gives you something and explains why they picked it out for you. Like they saw it, they were shopping, they thought of you. But yeah, let's dive in to the messages. We'll see where this discord is coming in, because this is distance. This is just explaining that you want space with somebody, okay? Or from a situation. It doesn't even need to mean necessarily that you're arguing. Okay, this card can have to do with like you being around a situation that you just want to distance yourself from, or just take some time. You might be taking time or space from someone or a certain situation. And I'm realizing too, my mosquito bites like look way worse on camera right now. And for some reason, it's been my hand that they've been attacking, I think mostly while I'm sleeping. But okay, so group 2, let's see what the tarot has to add. Just a quick reminder when doing these readings, if a challenging card pops up, it does not mean that you're going to have a bad day or a bad week, okay? Please do not let a card dictate how your day is going to go. We're just having fun. We're just looking at the energy that might be present this week or just pop up, different themes that we might notice. So let's see what we have. So Monday. You've got 6 of Wands Monday. Tuesday, you've got 3 cards on Tuesday. That doesn't often happen. You've got the Fool, the Hanged Man, and the 4 of Pentacles. That's an interesting combination. We'll have to see what that is. That's a really interesting combination though. Okay, so Wednesday, 2 more cards. 3 of Cups and the Hermit. Thursday, the Empress. Friday, Ace of Pentacles. Saturday, 2 of Swords, and then Sunday, 2 of Cups. Okay, so that's actually really nice. I always like to kind of observe and see what we might have more of. I'm seeing Cups, I'm seeing Wands, I'm seeing Swords, and we've got Pentacles. So we've got a little bit of everything. All right, so we'll get some charms. Group 2. What's happening this week for group 2? Okay. Okay. So group 2, one of the things I'm seeing, okay, so this card, again, it can talk about needing space. What I kind of feel like though, just looking at the cards I'm seeing, I don't know, because Wednesday you seem to kind of want to be on your own, because it's interesting that you got a very social card with the Hermit card. It's almost as if you're just craving your solitude that day. But yeah, it's interesting to have a card about distance in a relationship when we're finishing the week with the 2 of Cups. This can be, honestly, I feel like group 2, some sort of conflict with you and another person is getting sorted out this week. That's what I feel like. I feel like there could have been distance. Maybe there's distance early on in the week. I'm seeing a possibility of 2 people being quite stubborn and having a hard time seeing each other's point of view at certain points. So maybe distance is exactly what was needed or what is needed early on in the week. So just having said that, this could be kind of like a heads up. If there is some sort of tension this week or some sort of argument, it might actually be best to kind of separate yourself from the situation for a little while. Both of you kind of go off, do your own thing. You know, however long that might be. It could be a day, it could be a couple days, it could be a few hours, right? These readings don't always have to be like life-changing, huge things, right? We're talking oftentimes about everyday things, right? We're looking at 1 week in 1 month in an entire year. So not every week is going to have super significant events. That's just the reality, right? Some weeks are just weeks. That's something I say a lot. Some weeks are just kind of unremarkable in the sense of like, yeah, it was a normal week. Yeah, me and my spouse argued one day and took some time to do our own thing. And then, so that's kind of how I approach these readings. Some weeks we get, huge things and different changes and lots of major arcana cards talking about major changes. But this week I'm actually seeing as like, I basically, I don't see this situation as like the end of a relationship or anything like that. I see it more so as two people sorting something out, possibly taking a time out and trying to sort out some sort of discord, okay? So we'll get back to that, but it could, again, just be mentioning it because that's something that could potentially happen this week. Could happen with friends. I'm seeing it as a potential with friends, because I do find the combination of Three of Cups and the Hermit card quite interesting, because it's almost like, and this could be saying it's happening among friends. I want to mention that too. I don't know if I mentioned this already, but this butterfly represents possibly just trying to separate yourself from a situation that you're not even involved in, right? So it could be like friends arguing and you're like, okay, you know, you two need to sort this out. I don't really want to get in the middle of it. Like, I don't really want to give my opinion. I don't want to pick sides. I don't want to be caught in the middle of it, right? So that could also be one of many possibilities. But let's start with Monday. You've got the Six of Wands Monday. So this could definitely be the day where you're receiving this precious gift, because I'm seeing a lot of appreciation for you, Group 2, on Monday. This is a card of victory, success, achievement, accomplishments. So in general, you could just be feeling very accomplished that day, feeling very confident. I'm seeing Monday, Tuesday in whatever it is that you're doing. Someone could give you something out of appreciation. Getting something about like hostess gifts or something like that. Someone could gift you something because they appreciate you, or maybe you did something for them and they're saying thank you. So a lot of appreciation coming towards you, I'm definitely seeing. But in general, a good day, a good sign for things like interviews, things going well at work. If you've got something coming up Monday or this week in general, you're kind of worried about, is it going to be a success? Is it going to work out? I'm seeing that, yes, Group 2, it's going to work out. Just go in confident. I'm getting that confidence is the key to your success here. Someone may share something that's sort of kind of a secret, right? Because this is a diary lock. So someone may open up to you or share something kind of emotional or something that they've been holding back or just kept very personal on Monday, okay? Getting something about like maybe a nice card, like someone writes you a note that's very heartfelt or something like that, or someone just shares something with you that they've been keeping relatively secret, or like this box I'm imagining like kind of locked up. They've been keeping it locked up. So that's Monday. Monday's looking lovely. Now Tuesday is the interesting day. This kind of, I was staring at this when we first got these cards. I feel like this could be sort of what this Discovery and Unknown card is kind of talking about, because this card, there can be hesitation with this card, right? Because it's like, okay, I don't know what's ahead, so I don't want to even find out, right? I'd rather just kind of stick in the comfort zone. So this could be sort of you, I guess, dealing with a bit of the comfort zone, whether or not to move forward or take a leap of faith with something. Also, I was getting the possibility of this being a day where you're encouraged to see someone else's point of view. I'm getting a little bit of stubbornness here, honestly. I'm also noticing that lock and then the lock here, okay? So that's interesting. This could be the day to kind of take a timeout. I'm seeing a lot about timeouts this week. So just with this card, like in a hockey game, you know, if things get a little bit too heated, it could just be time to, you know, take a timeout. We could read these cards together, or it could just be three sort of different situations. So I'll kind of go through each card. But yeah, the Fool card could talk about taking a leap of faith. This could be a card of new beginnings. I'm seeing you feeling quite optimistic. Okay, you've got the Sunflower, which is a card of optimism. There could be something a little bit about, I'm getting a little bit about clinging to the comfort zone, or being a little bit uncomfortable with like the in-between, the period of not knowing, okay, is coming through. But overall, I'm seeing you going into something feeling optimistic. Your perspectives may change around something on Tuesday, right? You may discover something that you didn't know with Discovery and Unknown, and the Hanged Man could talk about different perspectives, seeing a different point of view possibly. You may be trying to kind of control the outcome of something, and it's not working out that way, okay? And that doesn't mean it's a bad thing, right? Because sometimes when we try to control the outcome to something, we end up just going in circles and coming to the same place over and over again, right? So I think you are being encouraged to kind of get out of the comfort zone a little bit and embrace the unknown, especially on Tuesday. You've got like Two of Wands energy here too. So I think something is sort of expanding your perspective if you're open to it, okay? That's the key. I think you have to be kind of open to it. There's something about like embracing adventure coming in Tuesday, embracing adventure, but being willing to like budge is coming through. That phrase just came through. I want to quickly look at the blue Laratiomyces. Again, I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that right. So let's see, number 27. Okay, a new discovery awaits you. It's going to be like stepping into the unknown, so don't move forward with assumption of what it's going to be like. Okay, so yeah, your assumptions about something may be way off, but that doesn't mean it's bad, okay? Or not even way off necessarily, but you're like, I think you're holding on to like the idea of the way something's going to go. And Tuesday, the cards are saying, okay, let's just keep an open mind. It says go in with an open mind and heart and allow it to unfold without expectation. So yeah, I think you're letting go of expectations on Tuesday. It says sometimes you are not meant to know what the unknown holds for you because you need to actually experience it. Yes. You may see it as a negative and you may find it positive. Either way, know that it is important and exactly where you are meant to be. If things don't turn out the way you thought and you find yourself in a negative thought pattern, remind yourself to give thanks for the situation, even though you are not sure why it may be happening. It will most likely be revealed to you at a later date because it was a stepping stone for you to get somewhere else. If you could see the whole path ahead of you, would you take a step forward? Sometimes it's good not to know where you're heading because the road ahead may be too overwhelming. Take a stepping stone approach and move from one to the next without worrying about where it will be taking you. As long as you follow your intuition, you won't be led astray. If you are allowing logical and emotional decisions to override your intuitive processes, you will find too many pathways you can take. Intuition is key here. Be strong, be confident, and trust your gut. I love that. The unknown awaits and it has many gifts for you. Okay, that gave me chills like you wouldn't believe. So, is this gift part of like embracing the unknown, right? And there's sort of a degree of like you're clinging to what is, like you're holding so tightly onto like what is that you're like not leaving any room for what could be. Okay, so that's coming through, but I find it so weird. Sorry, I think I just spit everywhere when I was talking to you. So the unknown awaits and it has many gifts for you. Gift. What the actual heck is going on? I also like how it talks about like, you know, sometimes when we overthink things or we base our decisions too much on our emotions in that moment, it can make things really confusing, right? And it can change moment to moment. So I really think you're listening to your gut for sure. And we'll get there on Saturday. Ooh, the dog barking. Oh my goodness. Could be some communication coming in. Sometimes when dogs bark, I take it as like a message depending on when it happens. But yeah, there could be some crucial information coming in as well. Moving on to Wednesday, you've got the moose, you've got the good luck charm, you've got the hammer. This is on Thursday, so we'll leave that there. You've got the, what is this, fishing hook and the bee or hornet. You know what's funny is I actually have a bee charm. This was supposed to be a wasp or a hornet. So this could be the day where the discord comes in, okay? Someone could say something that stings, or there could be something to kind of work through when it comes to communication. There could be a social setting where you're deciding to kind of take some time to yourself. You might feel a little bit more introspective that day, a little less social. Nothing wrong with that, right? This is, you know, not a card of loneliness, but it's a card of tranquility, craving time to ourselves, craving some peace and quiet, you know, feeling maybe a little bit more introverted. And it, like I said, some interesting combinations of cards coming out together because these two, like, just an interesting sort of juxtaposition because it's like such a social people, you know, events, community card with a card where it's like, no, I want my time. I want my quiet. So, you know what, take that how it fits, like what your intuition's telling you about that. So there could be, let's just think of an example. There could be like a social event Wednesday where you're like, you know what, I know I'm not really in the mood to go to this right now. So I really just want to kind of, you know, lay low and just sort of take some distance. You know, it could be that this situation is happening within a friend group possibly. So again, you're just trying to kind of distance yourself from this tension for the time being so as to not kind of involve yourself right in the middle of it. But like I said, you have 2 cards for that day. It doesn't mean they even have to connect. It could just be 2 cards for the day. There could be like something social, an invitation coming up, just a feeling of harmony in general, which is what I hope it is. This wasp kind of can sometimes talk about something said or something that happens that stings because you have the discord card. that's kind of why it came in. But again, it doesn't have to be that. There could be even themes of reunion, right? Like we don't know when this separation or this distance took place. This could have happened last week, right? And this is the week where you're kind of, coming back together as a group. Take it how it fits. We're just looking at the themes. It'll be different for everyone. My intuition was sort of something you're sort of choosing to kind of not participate in just for the time being, to protect your peace for the time being. That's what I was getting. But again, take it how it fits. You've got the Moose. So this is steady, sturdy energy. There maybe need to kind of stand your ground or set some sort of firm boundary. I'm getting like a sturdiness, a sense of strength within yourself. You've got good luck coming in that day. The fishing hook is interesting. I love that you have the fish here that day, kissing. Someone commented once, they're like, oh, that could be like a great catch. You also have the Two of Cups this week. So we're seeing themes of like romance or someone being a good catch. Maybe some of you are meeting someone this week. And then the Hammer. Focus and persistence. Patience as well is coming through. This can represent patience. I'm getting to like, I'll say this. This would not be the day to like stir the pot in a sense of like trying not to fish for details into somebody's discord or into someone's separation or into someone's argument with a friend or with a lover. Not a good day to kind of like ask for too many details. I would distance yourself. I wouldn't get too involved. Like I know sometimes it's tempting to kind of want to know what's going on and want to help and want to offer your advice. Sometimes we have to ask ourselves, okay, why are we prying? Is it because we want to feel included? Or is it because we want to know what's going on before everyone else? Is it because we're just being nosy? Like these are the questions, right? So again, take it how it fits, but I just wouldn't. I'm taking this as like a sign almost to like back off of a situation. Okay, so we'll see what that ends up being. Thursday, the energy is shifting quite a bit. You've got the Empress card. You've got the two kissing fish. You've got the, I love the rainbow. The rainbow and the tea leaf card is the most difficult part of the situation is over. And you also have the horse jumping over the hurdle. So something's getting figured out or you're overcoming some sort of obstacle or hurdle by Thursday. So this could be a good sign for whatever's going on Wednesday. It could mean that this distance is just the thing. It's just the ticket for what needs to be done to resolve this. Could be some reconciliation or some forgiveness happening Thursday. The Empress card, this is a very nurturing energy, very creative. This could just be that you're very much in this Empress energy. You're feeling like, I always get with this energy, and especially this card, like beautifying your space. You could be going to get your hair done, wearing something that you find very beautiful, treating yourself to something, maybe going to get a massage or a pedicure, or maybe you're, just redecorating or something like that. Like I always think of those things in life. But this again just could be very loving energy. It could mean that you're full of creative ideas and, new potential. Like there's lots of creativity. This could be sort of like a motherly energy that's very present that day, very nurturing motherly energy. This could be who's giving a gift or receiving a gift, possibly. On to Thursday, you've got Ace of Pentacles. You've got the Candle, you've got the Windmill, Taurus energy, and the Helmet. So Ace of Pentacles, this could be the gift day for sure, okay? So there could be some sort of gift being given to you on Friday. Something, again, that I keep getting, and I know it's repetitive, I'm sorry, sometimes messages will come in almost like a cycle, but it's valuable to you. It's like important to you. You see the value in this. It's precious to you. You cherish this. It's like, oh my goodness. So that could be what it is. It could even be an opportunity. I do find it super interesting that I felt called to read this. And at the very end, it talked about a gift. So this gift could literally be just an opportunity, right? Some sort of potential. Well, actually, that's the thing. It has potential. Whatever this opportunity is, it's just the seed. It's just the start of something. So that could be what it is. You're exploring. I love this actually with discovery and unknown. You're definitely exploring. There's like a feeling of deep exploration or discovering new places, new subjects, new interests, things like that, for sure. Okay, because you've got the Candle, which is essentially like Wands energy. This could also be like a birthday candle. You could have a birthday that day, so this gift could be a birthday gift. This is where I really encourage you to read along with me, okay? I could get so many messages from these that I could read for hours and hours. I just sort of take what's on the surface, but you might go a little deeper. So this candle could have relevance to you, but I see it as like Wands energy, so passion. So you're exploring some sort of passion that day. A Taurus could be sort of a main character on Friday. Could be someone's birthday, or this could be the person giving you the gift. And the windmill can talk about a shift, a change in the winds is coming through. Movement, being propelled. It's kind of reminding me of a propeller. So this gift could be something that's propelling you forward. And then Saturday, you've got good luck twice on the board for this week. So that's always nice. You've got the 4-leaf clover. You've got the whistle and the 2 of swords. So this could kind of be a day where there's a discussion or something getting sorted out. Here's the thing. I think that by the weekend, like, you're not really wanting to avoid this. Maybe there's been some space at this point where you're still sorting out your thoughts about something possibly on Saturday. You could feel a little bit indecisive that day. There could be a choice to be made or 2 different options that you're sort of trying to sort through. But just like the discovery in the unknown card said, sometimes if we overthink, right, if we try to be like overanalyze something, and then at the same time, if we try to base it on our emotions in that moment, it can get confusing. So you need to kind of trust what you feel is right. Your intuitive, like what your gut is telling you, you know to be true. And you can always change your mind later, okay? So there's something about pausing, getting something sorted out possibly. This could also be a timeout in regards to the discord card or the distance card. Yeah, timeout is coming through. I'm imagining like a hockey game. Like, okay, timeout. On to Sunday, you've got Pentacles energy, you've got the scissors, you've got the binoculars, and the 2 of Cups. So 2 of Cups is a really good sign, especially with this card, indicating that if this is representing you and the person where there's discord, if it is involving you, this could be a great sign of harmony being restored and reciprocity and understanding and mutual care and a really heartfelt discussion. Or it could just be a separate relationship entirely. This could be a romantic relationship, which I'm definitely seeing possible signs of this week. So it could be you going on a nice date on Sunday. Partnerships in general, it could be friendships, but definitely a feeling of closeness that day. And I like the binoculars landing there because there's something about looking ahead or maybe going in the same direction. The scissors can talk about release, okay? Or maybe like you've cut out a situation, okay? You've like released something. And then you have pentacles. The scissors lately have been making me think of like editing something or something getting pruned or something like that. And then the pentacles energy could just be like a focus on finances that day, something material, okay? The home, something like that. But you've got pentacles energy. It could be like cutting expenses because these 2 are the only charms. This, for example, this discord could have been around finances. So maybe the 2 of you, again, one example of possibly hundreds, you and a partner coming together and deciding which expenses to cut, okay? So that you can plan and look forward in the same direction, right? Because finances is a huge tension in relationships sometimes. It's one of the big reasons why people argue in the first place, right? Especially in like, if you're living with someone, like finances, differences in opinion of how to handle finances, all of that can create quite a bit of tension. So maybe it's that like, this is getting sorted out. You're more on the same page about what direction you want to go in, where you're looking towards, and therefore like cutting some sort of expense, just as an example. But yeah, group 2, let me know what you think. Yours was definitely very interesting, very complex. I loved this little moment. That was super cool because it was funny that I was thinking of this card when I was reading that, and then we got the card I was thinking of. I love that. So let me know what you think, group 2. We will see you next week. Hello, group 3. If you chose the violet coral mushroom, then this is your week ahead predictions. We're going to see what is in store for you this week. We've got lots to work with. If you're new here, welcome. You joined at a fun time because I love the weekly readings. We do this every single week, so don't forget to subscribe. And if you're not subscribed already and you have been watching these, I would definitely consider subscribing. That way you'll get notified every single week when I post these. And yeah, subscribing also does really help my channel. So if you enjoy my readings, definitely don't forget to subscribe. So let's dive in. We've got Secrets of the Mystic Grove, as well as the Mushroom Spirit Oracle, which is the one you chose from today. And we've got tea leaf cards, tarot, so lots to get into. Group 3, what is happening this week? Ooh, tenacity. So dedication, determination, and stubbornness. All right, so yeah, you are, you're like, I don't think that this is a bad thing. I think you are sticking to something. Like you're not budging with something. So that's cool. Okay, you've got dogs, so getting together with friends. That's cool with community. And you've got rings. So a marriage will take place either romantic or business. All right. Cool. Okay, let's see. We'll get your tarot cards for tenacity. So dedication, determination, stubbornness. Looks like a little badger there, if I'm not mistaken. Then violet, coral, getting together with friends. Definitely a social kind of vibe this week with community and getting together with friends. This community card definitely encourages you to find, like, if you feel like you don't really have a community, like a good place to start is like your passions, your hobbies. Like this is a good place to kind of meet people and surround yourself with people that, you know, have similar interests, things like that. So it could be too that like you're joining something this week or finding some sort of community, but we'll see what else is going on. It could just be like sort of a social week in your community. I know as the weather warms up where I live in Ontario, there's more like local events and things and outdoor things, and like we'll go sit outside on different patios and, you know, have a bite to eat or something. So that kind of thing just seems to happen more this time of year for me anyways. So that could literally be what it is, just more community events, more even like, and I was saying this to group too, like these readings always don't have to be anything too significant or life-changing. Like, you know, some weeks are just weeks, this is what I always say, but like maybe it's just that you're getting out into your community more. Like, you know, there's lots of places and cafes that I literally have not even tried yet, and I just moved like close to a lot of them. So, you know, I was saying to my friend, like this is going to be the summer where I want to like try out different restaurants and different places that have been here that I just haven't tried yet. So maybe supporting your community that way could be. Now, a marriage will take place either romantic or business. This could be also why you're getting together with friends. There could be like a party, a celebration. There could be weddings, things like that. Okay, so let's see what's happening Monday. 8 of Wands Monday. Tuesday, you've got Page of Pentacles. Wednesday, okay, you've got King of Wands, 5 of Wands, 4 of Cups. They're calling my attention to the tenacity card with that day, so we'll get there. Thursday, Page of Wands. Friday, Emperor. Yes. Saturday, 2 of Wands. Sunday, Strength. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, I think you're not giving up on anything that it is you want to accomplish this week. You are like digging in. Okay. This is not going to be the week where like you're easily swayed or even like I'm getting pushed around in the sense of like, I just think there's a sense of like not giving up on what you want very easily this week. You are more determined than ever, more stubborn than ever. And I think this is actually benefiting you. I mean, this card could be read in multiple different ways, of course, depending on what comes out with it. Sometimes stubbornness, you know, isn't the best way to react to something, because sometimes it means we're not, you know, being considerate of like maybe someone else's point of view, or, you know, we might be being too rigid in the way that we're thinking about something. But sometimes stubbornness is just like, no, I'm sticking to this. I'm not backing down. Like, this is something I want. So it can be good because sometimes when obstacles pop up or like little inconveniences and things like that, it keeps us from like quitting on our goals, right? Because it's like, no, I want this too bad. I'm too stubborn. I want this. So, and I'm a Scorpio, so I know all about stubbornness. Okay, so let's see what the charms have to add. Yeah, I almost kind of feel like, sorry, let me just do this really quickly. Yeah, I almost kind of feel like you're going to be tested this week a little bit, like something that you want might be a little bit tested, specifically Wednesday I'm seeing. Okay, so let's see what we have. Okay, got the word have, the Queen of Swords, and the 8 of Wands Monday. Okay, so quickly before we get into the individual days, I do like to look at the cards as a whole overall too. Like, just because a card is on one day doesn't mean like it's only that day. Like, I look at the cards as a whole and kind of get what messages come through. But I see Pentacles, I see Wands. You've got 2 pages. Lots of Wands, actually. Lots of Wands. Yeah, like mostly Wands. Because not only do you have Wands, but even on the cards that aren't Wands, I see Wands. So on the Strength card, for instance, Wand. The Emperor is holding this wand. It's almost like you're more determined than ever to achieve something. This week you're like fired up. You're fired up. Something actually also might kind of piss you off to the point of like wanting it even more. Sometimes that can be helpful, actually, like being irritated enough with something that we want to make a change, like something like that. Or someone may challenge you on something, and then this just empowers you all the more to like make it happen. Almost I'm getting something of like, okay, I'll show them. I'm proving to them, right? Not that that's why you're doing it, but it's almost a sense of like, this is actually helping you more. Like you might do well with that, like the challenge of it. Like I'm getting you're up for the challenge this week. So, and I am seeing you're more motivated than ever, more disciplined than ever, in fact. So this is actually really cool, dedicated. And I think with this dedication, I am seeing something about discipline. Like, in order to stay dedicated to this, like there might be days where you feel less motivated, but your dedication to it is what's like carrying you through. Okay, so let's look at the days. So I have a random word here. So have, so that's random. Usually this is with the letters, so that's kind of cool. Okay, you've got the Queen of Swords energy, and you've got 8 of Wands. This could be news, okay? You've got a marriage will take place, either romantic or business. I'm getting this also as commitment, like your commitment to something, like you're more committed than ever to something. But again, this could be like good news. 8 of Wands is telling me Monday, like Monday may be an exciting day, okay? It could be a day of like lots of fun events. Maybe this is something happening in your community. This is generally a card of like swift action, things happening somewhat unexpectedly, lots of change, lots of movement, something kind of being in the midst of a change. It's not very predictable, and it can be exciting. It just kind of depends on how you look at it or how adaptable you are. So yeah, a day to kind of expect the unexpected. You might have heard me refer to this as one of my busy day cards. I've got 2 that I sometimes immediately think when we're looking at a day ahead, oh, it's going to be a busy day. And it's this card and the 2 of Pentacles. For different reasons. This is like maybe a day of like just lots going on. There could be a lot of engagements, changes of plans could also potentially come up that day. Could even be saying with the Queen of Swords being here, that organization could be key here, okay? So organization. I'm getting more so about like information coming in though, like some news possibly coming in. Sorry, I'm just listening. I'm getting... I have to say, someone might be looking to you or like looking to you to kind of lead the way with something this week, I'm getting, okay? So you actually might be in a bit of a leadership position I'm seeing on various days, and I'm seeing it here as well because I just got someone calling you for like, okay, direction or something, calling you for advice about something. So it's almost like with this community card, people in your friend group or in a situation are looking to you for guidance. Like, okay, what's next? What do I do next? Even if you're not like necessarily in your mind the most experienced or the person that you would even like, you might be thinking, okay, why are they asking me? But they're looking to you for guidance and direction, I'm seeing, okay? So for whatever reason, whether it's at work or, with some situation, you do have that sort of like leadership, problem solving sort of energy I'm seeing this week. The adaptability continues. Tuesday, you've got the little balloon animal. This to me is always about like being able to change or like shift, be adaptable, bend in certain situations. So yeah, Monday, Tuesday may require your adaptability just due to changing circumstances, okay? You've got the peacock, you've got the moon, you've got the Page of Pentacles. So let's see what this might be. So Page of Pentacles, this could just be a focus on more practical things that day. Some of you could be starting jobs or just like setting different financial goals or different goals to do with work. I love this though. Like this to me always makes me feel like there's lots of different ways or different options because they're flipping a coin. You see the signs going in different directions. It's kind of like, Okay, like having a variety of options or lots of potential is my feeling. This could be you taking sort of like a new interest in something like that's more, has like either a financial tone or more practical element to it, or more even physical. I'm just getting to tell you like things Monday, Tuesday especially could like change at the drop of a hat. Like any moment things could kind of change. So it's good to be to kind of go with the flow that day. I'm getting like you have a plan this week, okay? And there's sort of a I don't want to say naivete, because I don't think you're naive by any means, but it's like a sense of like, oh, I can figure it out, right? Like it's not, you're kind of going into something very optimistically in a way, like, or like, oh no, there's something about like, yeah, I can figure it out. And it's something you're like taking a genuine interest in on Tuesday. Like you're genuinely invested in this, is my feeling. Like you're investing into something. I'm getting I'm getting this overall. Like your picture of something when you went into it might have been a little bit more, I'm getting romantic or idyllic, or like you had more of an idyllic sort of image of something than it's turning out to be. But at this point, like you're already invested, like you're already in it. So you're like, no, I'm gonna do this. Like, but I'm getting that something might be proving a little bit more challenging, specifically Tuesday, Wednesday than you thought. You're also getting something Tuesday about like being wary of great pride, because you have the peacock there. Okay, so the peacock can caution against feeling, I guess, go into something with a beginner mindset Tuesday, okay? And what's so funny is I was getting, people are looking to you for guidance, and there's moments where you're like, well, I'm just starting this too, or like, I'm just figuring it out as I go too. So, you know, that seems to be kind of happening simultaneously, because you're like leading the way with something is what I'm strongly getting. I'm also getting, like I said, you're starting to see kind of the full picture of something, and it's maybe you're realizing something is going to require a lot more investment or a lot more time possibly than you thought. Okay, so moving on to Wednesday, you've got Brave, you've got the little magnifying glass, you've got Capricorn energy and Cancer energy Wednesday, Thursday. So here you have the King of Wands, Five of Wands, Four of Cups. Okay, so a couple of things. Here's where I'm really starting to see that leadership energy come through here in Friday, specifically with the King of Wands and the Emperor card. You may be like sort of like sorting through a little bit of a conflict of some kind, or something could just be a little bit more complex than you initially thought, okay? I'm seeing that you are in problem solving mode this day, okay? So you're solving problems, you're coming up with solutions. I'm getting you're reacting to things this week like as they come, okay? So you're up to the challenge is the phrase that popped in. You're up for the challenge this week. You're not shying away from complicated situations. You're like bound and determined to solve problems that come up. There may be just some disagreements Wednesday about how to kind of go about something or what direction you should go, but ultimately you need to go in the direction that feels best for you, okay? Stubbornness could also just be present in general Wednesday, like amongst the community that you're working with, okay, or the people that you're working with. There could be potential for like disagreements this day, or just people all equally feeling passionate about something, but not the same things necessarily, right? Or the same way to go about something. It feels more connected to strategy than anything else. So like, no, this is the way. No, that's the way. No, I'm sure of it this way. So yeah, you may have like a point to prove on Wednesday, but again, like ultimately you need to do what's best for you. This card interestingly does talk about like sometimes we're stubborn to avoid getting out of the comfort zone. I don't feel like that's where you are. In fact, I feel like you are embracing the new. So I don't feel like you're sticking in the comfort zone at all. It's not the sense I'm getting, but of course take it if it fits, because you do have the Four of Cups here. So yeah, something may kind of force you a little bit out of the comfort zone this week. But again, I'm not getting that you're even clinging to the comfort zone. Is not the sense I'm getting. In fact, I'm thinking you are ready. You're ready for new adventures. I think you're ready for new excitement and you're looking ahead. But yeah, you may have a point to prove, or there could be some disagreement about how to go about something Wednesday. Okay, and this could just be inner conflict too. You could be kind of like sorting through something yourself, trying to problem solve, but I'm seeing you doing that. So much motivation this week. I'm seeing like a lot of motivation. You've got on Thursday, there's new hope for projects you'd almost given up on. You're getting redirected on Thursday. Okay, you're getting some sort of redirection. So again, this kind of goes into this feeling of like this could be where the stubbornness is actually holding you back then, because I knew the stubbornness would be coming up in ways that might not help us, but of course it can help us in a lot of ways, right? But if you're not adaptable enough, that could be where it kind of stands in your way this week. So not giving up on the ultimate goal or what it is you're trying to achieve, but just being adaptable on the way to get there, right? Having to kind of adapt to twists and turns and different ways that things could go this week, because you could be getting redirected this week. I'm seeing you feeling very, again, like the words fired up are coming in, motivated, okay, with the coffee. All of these charms may have personal significance to you too, right? You could be going for coffee with someone Wednesday. This could be a day where you're possibly, again, getting together with friends for coffee, something like that. I'm seeing this as a potential day where like there could be a gathering with friends or like a group of people getting together, doing something fun. Again, this could be a day of good news, possibly. This is, to me, a card of potential, a card of like embarking on some sort of new adventure. I'm getting facing fears coming up strongly this week too. You could be facing some fears. There's something you're seeing from a different perspective. So there's new hope for projects you'd almost given up on. So there's something you're looking at from a different perspective, or you've got a different point of view of something. So possibly a new approach. You're taking a different direction with something. You'd almost thought, okay, this isn't going to work. Like even possibly the day prior, you're thinking, oh gosh, I'm feeling so discouraged. This isn't working. Like it's amazing what one day can do. So by Thursday, you could be looking at something totally different or have a new direction, new motivation for it possibly. On Friday, you've got the Emperor card. So this is a card this is why I think, and the King of Wands, why I think you are in somewhat of a leadership position. So this could be a day where people are reaching out to you for like advice, because I was getting that possibly Monday. So whether or not you asked for it, I think that as you embark on this new journey, you're like leading the way. I'm getting trailblazer. You're a trailblazer. But yeah, so this could be also kind of emphasizing the idea of like dedication and hard work and tenacity, of course, and determination, but also discipline. Okay, this is my discipline card. Like the Emperor does what the Emperor has to do to get things done. Like they're not. I was gonna say they don't get caught up in. The other day I got something about no frills with the Emperor, and I think that makes sense because they're not like caught up in the excess. They're very much like to the point, logical. So yeah, I think Friday there's sort of like doing what you need to do, okay? Like there's a sense of being in control. You're feeling very powerful as well with whatever you're doing, and I think that you're seeing the vision take shape. Sorry, I'm just readjusting. Okay, so yeah, so you've got the popcorn as well. This could represent like something rapidly growing, or it can represent like exciting changes or things happening kind of fast. So again, like there could be like a rapidly changing situation that you're trying to remain calm and make logical decisions through possibly on Friday. It could also mean that you're going to a movie on Friday too, though, right? So again, have fun. Saturday, some of you are getting your nails done, possibly. You've got the Two of Wands. So this is a card to planning, preparation, possibly decision-making. This could, because you have heads up here too, this could be like I'm getting something, you might be getting advanced notice of something that you have to plan or prepare for on Saturday. Okay, it could have to do with travel, or just a change you might have to make. You might have to kind of, because I'm getting something about having to be swiftly adaptable this week, so that you could have to like change, or you might be getting an advance notice of something. Something's coming together though. I was getting that earlier, but I'm seeing that here again with the cauldron. Like all of the pieces, all of the ingredients to something are kind of coming together into what it is that you want to create. Okay, so this is actually really cool with the cauldron. Getting all the ingredients are coming together. All the ingredients are coming together. Then Sunday, you've got the rooster, which can be confidence. It can represent arrogance, although I'm not getting that, okay? Sometimes with the peacock, it can caution against arrogance. So in this type of reading, maybe it's like the stubbornness of like, sometimes we may need to change plans or admit where we're wrong, or like, you know, kind of be cautious of being too stubborn. But again, like my initial feeling this week is the stubbornness is actually helping you. But I do think as like the potential challenge of the stubbornness is just being adaptable this week. I'm seeing a time and time again, being able to adapt, to problem solve, to kind of like figure things out as you go, and not being too stubborn so that you just kind of like stay still, right? Because you're wanting to keep progressing. You've got some sort of answer coming in. This is also like, to me, like following your heart, listening to your heart, listening to what's right for you. And you've got the strength card. So I'm seeing just like overall, just such a sturdy, confident energy. The strength card too can talk about these things as well, like determination, dedication, because I'm feeling like a sense of feeling very grounded. This card can talk about, of course, strength and courage, but it can also talk about resistance. So it could be like resisting some sort of temptation that day, having like a strong will, essentially, like through some sort of challenge. I'm seeing a lot of endurance on the board today. Okay, so you're enduring something, or you have a lot of endurance with something. So again, group 3, I'm seeing nothing can really stand in your way this week. Like you're getting what you want. I think this card kind of describes the little badger digging its claws in, because like when you try to get a badger out of its little enclosure or whatever, it'll dig its claws in. So yeah, it's like you are more committed, more determined than ever to like make something happen, committed to your goals, committed to your vision. We've got so much wands energy, right? That you're just up for the challenge this week. Okay. I'm seeing you up for the challenge. You've got a lot of, I love the word tenacity, but endurance and courage. You've got brave here. You're facing fears I'm seeing this week. You're being adaptable and flexible where you need to be without compromising what's important to you or any like boundaries that you've set. Okay, you're not compromising on those. You're being looked to for guidance, possibly, even though you feel like, okay, well, I'm just learning too, or I'm just sort of in the midst of this right now. Why are people asking me? It's because you are a leader in the sense of like you are leading the way towards something, and people are recognizing that. Like I was getting the word trailblazer earlier. So your reading came through differently today. I almost had like a hard time kind of picking up what my intuition was telling me. Not a hard time picking it up, a hard time communicating it. So I hope I did okay. But yeah, I think I can't wait to get home. I cannot wait to go home. I've been here 2 weeks house sitting, and so I'm just excited to get home, get back into my routine, and yeah. So let me know what you think, group 3. I know this one was a little different. It felt a bit different for me, so I'd be curious to know what you think, if it makes sense. Let me know what these social events are possibly this week. You know, maybe you've got something coming up this week. Maybe you're going to get your nails done with friends or going to the movies or something. But overall, I love the energy this week. So let me know what you think.